Is Terence Crawford being forced into an unnecessary rematch with Errol Spence Jr.? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all, so I was going through some articles, looking for a topic for today, and I ran across one, and they were talking about whether Terence Crawford is being forced into this rematch with Errol Spence Jr. I wanted to give my 333 nickels on what is being said and break it down for anybody listening.
The fight could have been a better fight if Spence was prepared better. He set off too long.
All right, y'all. So is Terence Crawford being forced into the rematch with Errol Spence Jr.? You know what? I was thinking the exact same thing just a week ago when I saw all the stuff that Crawford fans and Crawford supporters were saying about Errol Spence when it came to the first fight and how they were bashing him and saying it was so easy.
Somebody set triple up in here?
And I was thinking, like, man, as soon as this rematch comes up and talks of the rematch come up, the first thing they're going to say is that Terence Crawford is being forced into this and it's unnecessary and he shouldn't have to do it because he beat Errol Spence so decisively.
We plan to take the same strategy, which is mind over matter, taking all our weaknesses and making it to our strengths.
And, to me, I think that's kind of funny because if Errol Spence had actually beaten Terence Crawford in the first fight, I think that a lot of Errol Spence fans would have said the same thing, especially if Spence would have beaten him the way that Crawford beat Spence. They would have said that, the rematch is unnecessary, Errol Spence should be allowed to move on, yada, yada, yada. But me personally, I'm the type that says if the loser, a champion, wants to activate the rematch clause because it's contractual, then he should have every right to activate the rematch clause because it's contractual. And both guys were champions. I don't think that either side really has an argument when it comes to saying that this one doesn't deserve a rematch because of how the fight came out, or that one doesn't deserve a rematch because of how the fight came out. Because, many a fight has been one-sided and the rematch has been the completely opposite of the original fight. So I don't feel like just because Terence Crawford beat him, badly, and I don't really think he even beat him badly.
The hideousness of that will haunt my dreams forever.
Because I don't think that both sides are being honest. I think Errol Spence fans, a lot of them are going with, PED talk, that Terence Crawford was using snack, that Terence Crawford is doing something illegal. It's just not that way, man. I don't know why people are actually thinking that, but it's just not the way it is. I don't think personally that Terence Crawford's on PEDs or that just because he's working with a supplement company that he's somehow using PEDs, but he hasn't been caught for it. I mean, y'all gotta think about it like this.
You smell like a winner!
He's a known steroid pusher, and I'm talking about a specific person. If he's known to do things with illegal supplements and he's been caught for it before, you would think that all eyes would be on this guy anytime one of his contracted fighters is fighting.
Mama, I don't carry fluid luggage no more. I'm making carry his own luggage. I'm flying the plane now. What's up, Jim?
But for some reason, nobody's really paying attention to what this guy's doing. So if he hasn't gotten caught yet, I don't think he's going to get caught, whether he's doing something illegal or not. To me, I think it's being a situation of exactly what Errol Spence said. Hey, I can't make the weight anymore. Hey, the weight's just too much for me. I'm draining myself a little too much at 147. 154 is a lot more comfortable for me.
And he was having a good time out there, maybe partying and doing stuff, and got his weight up to about 185, 190 or something, trying to get down to 47. He did all the things that you can't do if you're going to get there with Crawford. You can't get on that weight and try to lose it and then think you're going to be, strong enough, whatever, for somebody like Crawford. You have to be like 100%.
So I don't think it's a situation that Errol Spence just got beat that bad because Terence Crawford was on PEDs, according to some of the Spence fans, or that Terence Crawford beat him so bad because he's that much more talented. I think that it was just a situation of Terence Crawford used the strategy. He caught Spence at the right moment. He caught Spence while he was very overweight. He made the fight, and the fight came out in his favor. Errol Spence had to do drastic things to lose weight, and it didn't work out in his favor. So I don't think that it's a situation of Terence Crawford's being forced into a rematch because Errol Spence had such a bad showing. I think Terence Crawford's contracted for a rematch, and Errol Spence deserved one because I think other people behind the scenes know what happened with the weight situation, and Terence Crawford using a great strategy to catch Spence at the right time. I don't think it's going to be that way in a rematch. This is why Errol Spence deserves a rematch, and I would have said the same thing for Terence Crawford if it was the reverse situation. Terence Crawford deserves a rematch. It's contracted. I don't care how he got beat. Let's see the rematch. Now, in the rematch, is it going to be more of the same? It just might be. How much of a difference could 7 pounds have? It depends on if Errol Spence lets his weight balloon back up, which I doubt.
I think I do remember hearing something on TV about colon cleansing. They say everyone should have one. I'm thinking about getting me an appointment and go down and get my colon cleansed thoroughly.
That he would do. You know, I think that first fight was just a way of him dropping the weight, cutting the weight. I don't think he cared about the titles. He was most likely going to drop those titles right after that fight anyway. So I don't think him losing the titles really even matters to him. But, you know, he does have a loss on his record now. And I don't really think that matters to him either because he knew that he needed to get back in shape. Got back in shape. He lost a fight. He lost the titles. Who cares about those titles? Throw them out the window. Now he's where he needs to be. He's where he wants to be. He's where he's comfortable. And I think you're going to see the real big fish come out in the second fight. The shark in Errol Spence is going to swim to the surface and take Terence Crawford down below.
Yes, I've been working constantly now since fighting every other month or two. Just needed to wipe a little dust off of it. I have to keep the game alive because I'm the true champion. With most boxers and managers, this is just a business, and they figure, well, they got a top contender, and he's barely on top, and they don't want to take a chance and lose unless they're paid great.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button, follow me, share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product or your channel or my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail because it is a flock of cards at
Hold up, stay fitted. So low you would think I'm a no-show. Gator kicks, not the skin but the logo. Acosta. Fit fresh off the hanger, I'm a game changer. Lanes are in danger. No chain, no ring on my finger, but I'm still fly, so the lanes feel anger. Cause this chain costs about a stack, and they still don't see him like a tap on the back. I ain't a pimp, but I still Mac on the track, and all I really need is some yak and a sack. That way I stay in it. It's your boy Louis Keys and I stay fitted. Well, you can bet $1 million, you ain't got it like me. You can bet $1 million, you ain't got it like me. I'm looking like $1 million, nice kicks, nice feet. I'm looking like $1 million, nice kicks, nice feet. Hold up, stay fitted. Hold up, stay fitted. Hold up, hold up, hold up, stay fitted. Hold up, stay fitted. Hold up, stay fitted. Hold up, hold up, hold up, stay fitted. You can bet $1 million. You ain't got it like me. I don't give a damn if I'm in the white tee. Scuffed up kicks and no jewelry. I'ma still shine like a jewel thief. Louis Keys, I don't mean to brag. Just trying to hip you to the 7-figure swag. Knots in my pocket so my jeans might sag. Club to the mall, pop bottles, pop tags. Well, you can bet $1 million, you ain't got it like me. You can bet $1 million, you ain't got it like me. I'm looking like $1 million, nice kicks, nice feet. I'm looking like $1 million, nice kicks, nice feet. Hold up,